There are 7 powerful clues that reveal your life purpose. Most people have never heard of them, and the ones who have heard of them do not pay close enough attention. But before we get into them, let me share something important. A study from the University of British Columbia, published in 2025, analyzed over 2,000 people and their sense of purpose in life. The finding was remarkable. People who had a clear sense of purpose were significantly happier, healthier, and more successful than those who did not. Another study from Harvard University found that people with a strong life purpose had better physical health, lower risk of depression, and even lived longer. So, finding your purpose is not just a feel good idea. It is literally one of the most important things you can do for your life. Now, here is something interesting. Most people believe they need to find their purpose before they can start living. But research actually shows the opposite. Your purpose reveals itself through small clues that show up in your everyday life. And today I am going to show you exactly what those clues are. Let us start with the first one. When you do certain tasks in your daily life, in which areas do you naturally see opportunities instead of problems? This is a very important question because most people, when they think about farming, for example, they immediately think about the risks. What if the market drops? What if the business fails? But someone who is truly passionate about farming thinks completely differently. They see a piece of land and immediately think, I can grow something here. I can build something here. I already understand this. Their mind automatically filters for possibility instead of threat. Psychologists call this an approach orientation, and research shows it is one of the strongest early indicators of where a person's natural passion lies. So ask yourself this question honestly. In which areas of life do you naturally see what could go right rather than what could go wrong? That area could be your purpose. The second clue is this. When something is truly aligned with your purpose, you are willing to do it even without money or recognition. Think about that for a moment. Walt Disney was fired from his first job at a newspaper for lacking imagination. He had no money, no recognition, no guarantee of success. But he kept drawing. He kept creating. He could not stop. Because it was not about the reward. It was about the activity itself. Research published in the Journal of Positive Psychology confirms this. People who are intrinsically motivated by an activity, meaning they do it for the joy of doing it rather than for external rewards, consistently outperform those who are only motivated by money or recognition. So think about this honestly. Is there something you would do even if nobody paid you? Even if nobody praised you? Even if nobody was watching? That is a very powerful signal. The third clue is something many people completely overlook. Other people notice your strengths before you do. This is backed by research in social psychology. Studies consistently show that people around us are often better at identifying our natural talents than we are ourselves. This is because we are too close to our own abilities. What feels easy and natural to us often looks extraordinary to others. For example, Giorgio Armani studied medicine, served in the army, and worked as a window dresser. But people around him kept noticing the same thing. The way he combined colors, the way he understood elegance, the way he arranged things visually. They noticed it long before he did. He eventually followed those clues and built one of the greatest fashion empires in history. He did not find his true path until he was nearly 40. So pay attention to what people consistently praise you for. Not one-time compliments, consistent ones. Those repeated observations from others are some of the most reliable clues to your natural purpose. The fourth clue is about ideas. When something is connected to your passion, your mind spontaneously generates ideas about it without any effort. You do not need to force it. You see a building and immediately think of how it could be improved. You watch a movie and immediately think of how the story could be better. You observe a problem in society and immediately think of 3 ways to solve it. This spontaneous idea generation is your brain telling you something important. It is saying, this is the area where I naturally operate at a higher level. Take that signal seriously. The fifth clue is about energy. Most activities drain you over time, but activities connected to your true purpose do something different. They may physically tire you, but mentally they do not deplete you. They actually restore you. Julia Child did not start cooking seriously until she was in her late 30s. She did not publish her famous cookbook until she was 50, but she described cooking as the one thing that never felt like work. Hours in the kitchen left her physically tired but mentally alive and energized. That is the feeling you are looking for. What activity can you do for hours and still feel mentally willing to continue? That is your clue. The sixth clue is about leadership. When something is connected to your true purpose, you naturally want to take charge of it. You do not need to be asked. You do not need permission. You just automatically step forward and start organizing, guiding, and improving. This is not about personality type. Even quiet, introverted people naturally lead in areas they are deeply passionate about. If you find yourself consistently stepping up in certain situations without even thinking about it, that is worth paying very close attention to. And the seventh clue is one that most people completely ignore: your social media and search history. Not what you post, not what you share for others to see, what you search for when nobody is watching, what videos you watch all the way to the end without skipping, what topics you find yourself falling into rabbit holes about at midnight. Your algorithm has been quietly studying you for years, and it knows things about your genuine interests that even you may not be fully aware of. Look at your saved content. Look at your watch history. Look at your search patterns. You will find clues there that point directly toward what your mind is naturally attracted to. Now, here is the most important thing to understand about all 7 of these clues. You do not need all 7 to match. Even 3 or 4 consistent signals pointing in the same direction is a powerful enough indicator to take seriously. Because, as Harvard research confirmed, having a clear purpose in life is not just good for your happiness. It is one of the most significant predictors of a longer, healthier, and more successful life. So do not wait for a perfect sign. Start noticing the small clues that are already showing up in your everyday life. They have been there all along. Alright, that is it for today. I will see you in the next video. Take care.